The 1968 D Jefferson Nickel is one of those coins that often hides in plain sight, sitting quietly in old collections, jars of change, or tucked away in the back of a safe deposit box. Yet it has a story and market value that can surprise even experienced collectors. At first glance, this nickel may seem like any other mid-20th century coin, but its true worth is recognized only when you take into account its historical background, minting details, rarity in high grades, collector demand, and numismatic significance. With a market value that can reach up to $2,700. This coin stands as a prime example of how condition, mint mark, and context can transform an ordinary circulating piece into a prized collectible. To understand why this coin holds such importance, it's essential to look deeply into every aspect of its identity, from its design and production to its role in U.S. coinage history and modern collector interest. First, let's begin with the historical context of the 1968 D Jefferson Nickel. The year 1968 was a pivotal time in the United States, not just socially and politically, but also within the world of numismatics. It marked a period of transition in U.S. minting practices. After a shortage of coinage in the early to mid-1960s, the U.S. Mint had resumed using mint marks in 1968 after having removed them temporarily to discourage coin hoarding. For Jefferson Nickels, this meant that coins struck in Denver carried the D mint mark, located on the reverse of the coin, to the right of Monticello beneath the words E pluribus unum. This small detail distinguishes the Denver strikes from their Philadelphia and San Francisco counterparts and adds an additional layer of collectability. When examining the coin itself, the design is, of course, the work of Felix Schlag, whose artistic rendering of President Thomas Jefferson on the obverse has remained a staple of American coinage since its introduction in 1938. The obverse shows Jefferson's left-facing bust with the inscriptions "In God We Trust" and "Liberty," alongside the date 1968. The reverse depicts Jefferson's home, Monticello, with the inscriptions "E pluribus unum," Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. What may look simple at first glance is actually deeply symbolic. Jefferson's image represents leadership and ideals of freedom, while Monticello is a testament to his vision, intellect, and legacy. Together, these images create a coin that serves not just as currency, but as a miniature piece of American history. The rarity and value of the 1968 D Jefferson Nickel, particularly in today's numismatic marketplace, lie in its condition. While millions of these coins were minted, most were circulated heavily, showing wear that reduces their collector appeal. However, uncirculated or high-grade examples, especially those graded by professional services like NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, or PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, can command substantial premiums. The finest specimens, often preserved in mint state with full steps on Monticello, a designation known as full steps nickels, are especially sought after. It is within this context that the market value of up to $2,700 becomes a reality. Coins. With sharp strikes, no signs of wear, and strong eye appeal fetch high prices in auctions, often surprising collectors who underestimated their worth. Another important factor that influences the value of the 1968 D nickel is collector demand. Jefferson Nickels, though sometimes overlooked compared to series like Lincoln Cents or Morgan Dollars, have a dedicated following. Collectors who specialize in nickels often strive for complete date and mint mark sets, which makes finding the 1968 D in pristine condition a challenge worth pursuing. Additionally, Jefferson Nickels with exceptional strike details, unique toning, or those that have survived untouched in rolls or mint sets add another layer of appeal. In this way, rarity isn't just about low-mintage, it's about the survival of coins in exceptional condition. From a numismatic perspective, the 1968 D nickel also represents a turning point in minting practices. This was the first year after mint marks had returned to U.S. coinage, and Denver's coins in particular carry significance because of their sheer output. Collectors today recognize that while many Denver nickels were struck, most weren't. Saved in uncirculated rolls, meaning high-grade examples, are relatively scarce. The combination of historical importance and conditional rarity contributes to the coin's elevated market value. Let's also not forget the investment potential of this coin. Many collectors today are increasingly aware of how certain modern-era nickels, once dismissed as common pocket change, are becoming highly desirable due to grading rarity. The 1968 D nickel graded at top levels demonstrates how coins can serve as alternative investments. A coin purchased decades ago at face value can now yield thousands of dollars at auction if preserved carefully. This reality makes the coin not only a collectible, but also a tangible asset for those who understand the numismatic market. In terms of market trends, auction results continue to highlight the significance of the 1968 D Jefferson Nickel. Examples in MS66 or MS67 full steps have brought prices that approach and exceed the $2,000 mark, with top-end sales hitting around $2,700. These sales confirm that the market for Jefferson Nickels remains strong, especially for high-quality specimens. It's not uncommon to see bidding wars erupt among collectors eager to add one of these rarities to their sets, proving the lasting demand for the series. Moreover, the educational value of studying a coin like the 1968 D Jefferson Nickel cannot be overlooked. It teaches collectors about U.S. history, mid-20th century minting processes, and the importance of paying attention to small details like mint marks and strike quality. Coins like these remind us that even seemingly common pieces of change have stories to tell and values to reveal when viewed through the lens of numismatics. In conclusion, the 1968 D Jefferson Nickel stands as a shining example of how condition, history, and collector demand elevate a coin's importance in the numismatic world. With a market value of up to $2,700, it has transcended its humble role as 5 cents of spending money and has become a highly prized collectible. Its connection to Jefferson, its distinctive D mint mark, its position within a significant historical era of U.S. coinage, and its rarity in pristine grades all contribute to its appeal. Collectors and investors alike recognize that this nickel is not merely a coin, it's a piece of art, history, and value combined. For those lucky enough to have one in exceptional condition, the 1968 D nickel is a true treasure, a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary finds can come from the most ordinary places. Next up, the 1953 No Mint Mark Jefferson Nickel is one of those fascinating coins that often captures the attention of collectors due to its unique background, rarity, and potential value in today's numismatic market. At first glance, it may appear to be just another regular nickel from the mid-20th century, but for those who understand the world of coin collecting, this coin holds much more significance. Minted in Philadelphia without any mint mark, the 1953 Jefferson Nickel belongs to a series of coins that have been in circulation since 1938, honoring the third president of the United States, Thomas Jefferson, and showcasing the iconic Monticello building on the reverse. What makes the 1953 no mint mark Jefferson Nickel so special, however, is not only its age, but also its condition rarity, collector demand, and the historical context that elevates its worth. While millions of these coins were produced at the time, surviving examples in pristine condition are few and far between, making them highly desirable for serious collectors and investors alike. In fact, depending on condition, strike quality, and grading by professional services such as PCGS or NGC, the market value of this coin can reach up to $12,500 today, which is a remarkable return considering its humble 5-cent face value. 2. Understand the true value of the 1953 no mint mark Jefferson Nickel, we need to go back to its origins. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel after a 25-year run. The design was chosen through a public competition won by sculptor Felix Schlag. who submitted a classical yet simple portrait of Thomas Jefferson facing left for the obverse and a depiction of his Virginia home, Monticello, for the reverse. The design itself carried deep symbolism, reflecting Jefferson's contributions to the founding of America and his role as an architect, statesman, and visionary. By 1953, the United States was in the midst of post-war recovery and prosperity, and coins like the Jefferson nickel were a daily part of people's lives, circulating widely across the country. However, the Philadelphia Mint, which produced the 1953 no mint mark nickel, did not use a mint mark at the time, making it slightly more difficult to differentiate Philadelphia issues from those of Denver or San Francisco. Despite this, the Philadelphia coins often had stronger strikes, though their mass production meant that wear and tear over decades significantly reduced the survival rate of high-quality examples. When it comes to value, condition is the most critical factor in determining how much a 1953 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is worth. Circulated coins that have been used in commerce typically hold only minimal numismatic value above their face value, but once you step into the world of uncirculated, high-grade, or even proof-like strikes, the story changes dramatically. Collectors prize coins that exhibit sharp details, full steps on Monticello, and original mint luster. The term full steps refers to the clarity and sharpness of the steps leading up to Monticello on the reverse side of the nickel. This is an important designation given by grading companies, and coins that achieve it can command premiums far beyond their regular counterparts. For the 1953 no mint mark nickel, finding one with full steps in mint state condition is incredibly rare, which is why top-graded examples can fetch thousands of dollars at auction. In fact, one such coin in superb condition has been known to sell for as much as $2,500, making it one of the most valuable nickels from that decade. Another element that contributes to the coin's value is its historical context. The early 1950s were a period of economic expansion in the United States, with a booming middle class, the rise of suburban living, and major cultural shifts. Coins minted during this era serve as tangible relics of a transformative time in American history, which further enhances their collectability. For many collectors, owning a 1953 no mint mark Jefferson nickel is not just about having a piece of metal, but rather holding a small artifact that connects them to the past. This emotional and historical connection adds another layer of demand, particularly for coins in outstanding condition. Rarity also plays a significant role in why the 1953 nickel can be worth so much. While the Philadelphia Mint produced over 46 million nickels in 1953, most of them were spent, circulated, and eventually worn down. Coins were not saved in large quantities by collectors at the time because Jefferson nickels were considered ordinary pocket change. As a result, surviving coins in gem condition are exceptionally scarce. Rarity in the numismatic world does not always mean low mintage. Sometimes it means low survival rates in high grade, and that is exactly the case with the 1953 no mint mark Jefferson nickel. Collectors today compete fiercely for such pieces, which drives up their value in the marketplace. One cannot underestimate the role of third-party grading companies in boosting the value of coins like the 1953 nickel. Organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, evaluate coins under strict criteria, assigning them grades that determine their place in the collector's hierarchy. Coins graded at the higher end of the scale, such as MS-66 or MS-67, can command incredible premiums. Moreover, coins with the full steps designation are even rarer and more valuable. For instance, while a typical uncirculated 1953 no mint mark nickel might sell for a few $100s, a top-graded full steps version can leap into the thousands, with $2,500 being a realistic market value for one of the finest known examples. Collectors are also drawn to this coin due to its aesthetic appeal. Over time, some 1953 nickels have developed beautiful natural toning, with shades of gold, blue, purple, or green shimmering across their surfaces. This toning occurs as a result of chemical reactions between the coin's metal composition and its environment, and in many cases it adds significant value. Attractive toning, combined with a strong strike and high grade, can make the coin even more desirable and valuable at auction. The market for the 1953 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel has grown stronger in recent years, largely because more collectors have turned their attention to the Jefferson Nickel series. While earlier issues, such as the 1939 double die reverse or the 1942-1945 Silver War nickels, often steal the spotlight, coins like the 1953 Philadelphia issue have steadily risen in importance. This is partly due to registry set collecting, where enthusiasts strive to build the best possible collection of Jefferson Nickels in certified holders. In such a competitive environment, every high-grade coin matters, and rarity drives up the price. For this reason, coins like the 1953 no-mint mark nickel with full steps and top grades can consistently sell for thousands of dollars. From an investment perspective, the 1953 nickel is also an appealing option. Rare coins with historical significance, low population in top condition, and strong collector demand tend to hold or even increase in value over time. Unlike modern bullion, which rises and falls with the metal markets, coins like the 1953 no-mint mark Jefferson nickel derive much of their value from numismatic appeal rather than intrinsic metal content. This makes them more stable long-term investments for those looking to diversify their collections or portfolios. Another fascinating aspect of the 1953 no-mint mark nickel is how it ties into the broader story of U.S. coinage. The Jefferson Nickel series has been around for over 85 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in American history. It has seen countless changes in production quality, mint marks, and subtle design modifications. Within this context, the 1953 issue stands out as a mid-century classic, bridging the earlier wartime nickels and the modern era. Collectors who specialize in Jefferson Nickels often view the 1953 as a cornerstone coin, particularly in high grade, because it represents the difficulty of assembling a truly complete top-quality set. In conclusion, the 1953 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickel is far more than just a simple 5-cent coin. Its true value lies in the combination of rarity, condition, collector demand, historical significance, and market dynamics. While many examples exist in worn condition, the few surviving in pristine, high-grade states with full steps detail can achieve remarkable prices, reaching as high as $2,500. For collectors, owning such a coin is not just about monetary value, but also about preserving a small piece of American history, honoring the artistry of Felix Schlag's design, and appreciating the resilience of a coin that has survived decades in exceptional form. Whether viewed as a collector's treasure, a historical artifact, or an investment opportunity, the 1953 no-mint mark Jefferson Nickel undoubtedly holds a special place in the numismatic world, and its market value today reflects just how extraordinary this seemingly ordinary coin can truly be. Next up, the 1985 D mint mark. Jefferson Nickel is a fascinating coin that has gained significant attention among collectors due to its rarity in high grades, historical context, and the desirability of specific strike characteristics that make it worth far more than its humble face value of just 5 cents. Struck at the Denver Mint, which is denoted by the D mint mark located on the obverse side of the coin near Jefferson's bust, this nickel belongs to a long-running series that began in 1938 with the introduction of the Jefferson design by Felix Schlag. By 1985, the Jefferson nickel had already become an iconic coin in American pocket change, recognized and circulated across the nation on a massive scale. Yet, despite the millions minted that year, what sets the 1985 D mint mark nickel apart is not its mintage numbers, but rather the rarity of surviving examples in pristine condition with full strike details, most notably the coveted full steps designation on Monticello. For this reason, while circulated examples are worth little more than face value, high-grade coins certified by professional grading services such as PCGS and NGC have achieved astounding prices at auctions, sometimes as high as $12,300, making this coin one of the standout issues of the 1980s Jefferson Nickel series. To appreciate why the 1985D Jefferson Nickel commands such a premium in today's numismatic market, one must understand the history of the Jefferson Nickel series and the unique challenges associated with minting quality during the 1980s. The Jefferson Nickel replaced the Buffalo nickel in 1938 after a 25-year run, following a Treasury Department competition that led to Schlag's winning design, featuring a left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and his Virginia estate, Monticello, on the reverse. Schlag's design was chosen for its classical simplicity, and it has remained in circulation, with some modifications, ever since. By 1985, America was entering the latter half of the Cold War. Technology was rapidly advancing, and coins such as the nickel were a vital part of everyday commerce. The Denver Mint produced an enormous number of nickels that year to meet the needs of the expanding economy. However, despite the large montage, striking quality was inconsistent, as was often the case during that period, resulting in many coins lacking sharp details, particularly on Monticello's steps. This striking weakness makes finding a 1985D nickel with bold, crisp details incredibly challenging and thus highly valuable when such coins surface. The key to understanding the coin's true market value lies in the concept of grading and strike quality. Collectors often look for coins that exhibit full steps, FS, which refers to the clear visibility of the 6 steps leading up to Monticello on the reverse of the coin. This designation is one of the most challenging to achieve for Jefferson Nickels, particularly those minted in the 1980s when production quality varied greatly. Coins with full steps are considered significantly rarer and can sell for exponentially higher prices compared to regular strikes. For the 1985D Jefferson Nickel, an MS66 or MS67 grade with full steps certified by PCGS or NGC can command prices up to $2,300, a staggering increase from its face value. This remarkable valuation demonstrates the powerful impact that condition, strike sharpness, and third-party certification can have in the world of numismatics. It is important to note that while millions of 1985D nickels were struck, the vast majority entered circulation immediately, being used in everyday transactions for decades. Circulated examples are plentiful and typically only worth a few cents to collectors. But the real challenge lies in finding mint-state coins that have survived untouched. Even coins kept in rolls or bags from the mint are often plagued by contact, marks, dull luster, or weak strikes. This makes high-quality survivors an exception rather than the rule. As a result, the population of coins in MS66 or better with full steps is extremely low, which drives fierce competition among collectors and significantly boosts the coin's value. Beyond condition rarity, the 1985D Jefferson Nickel also holds a certain historical significance. It was minted during a decade of major transformation in the United States. The mid-1980s were marked by rapid economic growth, technological innovation, and cultural shifts that continue to influence American society today. Coins minted during this period serve as historical markers, reflecting the era in which they were produced. For collectors, owning a pristine 1985D nickel is like owning a small piece of history that connects them to this transformative decade. While many coins from the 1980s are still seen as modern by some, numismatists increasingly recognize the importance of these transitional years, and coins like the 1985D nickel are gaining recognition as hidden gems. Another factor that enhances the coin's value is the growing interest in registry set collecting. Registry sets are competitive collections certified and ranked by major grading companies, encouraging collectors to obtain the finest possible examples of each coin in a given series. This has dramatically increased demand for high-grade Jefferson Nickels, including the 1985 D issue. Collectors vying for the top spot in registry competitions are willing to pay significant premiums for coins with exceptional quality, especially those with full steps. As demand continues to grow in this specialized area of collecting, the market value of coins like the 1985 D Jefferson Nickel will likely remain strong, if not increase further in the future. Toning also plays a role in the appeal of this coin. Over time, some 1985 D nickels develop beautiful natural toning due to environmental factors and storage conditions. These coins may exhibit shades of gold, blue, purple, or green, adding to their visual appeal and desirability. Collectors often prize attractively toned coins because they are unique. No two toned coins are exactly alike. When combined with a high-grade and full steps designation, attractive toning can make a 1985 D nickel even more valuable, further enhancing its potential to reach or exceed the $2,300 market value. Investment potential is another aspect that cannot be overlooked. Rare coins such as the 1985 D Jefferson Nickel in top condition have consistently proven to be solid, long-term investments. Unlike bullion coins, whose value fluctuates with the metal market, numismatic coins derive their value from rarity, demand, and historical significance. This gives them a degree of stability, especially for coins certified by reputable grading services. Collectors and investors alike view coins, such as the 1985 D nickel, as both historical treasures and financial assets, capable of appreciating in value over time. While some may question why a relatively modern nickel could be worth so much, the answer lies in the combination of rarity and top grades, collector demand, and the importance of strike quality. The Jefferson Nickel series, one of the longest-running designs in U.S. history, is a favorite among collectors who appreciate its artistic design, historical ties, and the challenge of assembling a complete set with full steps. The 1985 D nickel is particularly tough to acquire in high grade, which gives it a reputation as a sleeper coin, one that may not be widely recognized by casual collectors, but is highly prized by advanced numismatists. In conclusion, the 1985 D mint mark Jefferson Nickel is much more than just a piece of everyday pocket change from the 1980s. It is a rare and valuable collectible that combines historical context, striking challenges, rarity in high grades, and strong collector demand. While most examples are worth only face value, those rare survivors in pristine condition with full steps have achieved extraordinary prices, with market values reaching up to $2,300. This coin serves as a reminder that true value in numismatics often comes not from mintage numbers alone, but from condition rarity, grading, and the passion of collectors who recognize the importance of preserving these pieces of history. For those fortunate enough to own a top-grade 1985 D Jefferson Nickel, it represents not just a financial asset, but also a piece of American heritage, proof that even the most ordinary coin can hold extraordinary worth in the right circumstances. Next up, the 1984 D mint mark. Jefferson Nickel is one of those fascinating modern-era coins that demonstrates how rarity in top condition, striking details, and collector demand can transform an ordinary piece of circulating coinage into a valuable, numismatic treasure worth thousands of dollars. Struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark located near Thomas Jefferson's portrait on the obverse, this nickel belongs to the long-running Jefferson Nickel series designed by Felix Schlag, which began in 1938 and has remained an iconic part of U.S. coinage ever since. At first glance, most 1984 D nickels may look like common coins from pocket change, since millions were minted and used daily in commerce throughout the United States. However, appearances can be deceiving because among these countless nickels, lies a small population of extraordinary examples that have survived in superb mint condition with exceptional details, particularly those with the highly coveted full steps designation on Monticello. It is these top-graded, perfectly struck coins that elevate the 1984 D nickel from being a 5-cent piece of everyday change into a rare collectible worth up to $2,900 in today's numismatic market. To truly understand why the 1984 D Jefferson Nickel can command such an impressive price, it's important to look at the background of the Jefferson Nickel series. The design replaced the Buffalo nickel in 1938, after a competition held by the U.S. Treasury resulted in Felix Schlage's portrait of Jefferson and his Monticello estate being selected. Schlage's design was elegant and enduring, with Jefferson's left-facing profile on the obverse and the neoclassical depiction of Monticello on the reverse. For decades, this design circulated widely, becoming one of the most recognized coins in America. By 1984, the series had already been in circulation for nearly half a century, and while it was seen as a modern coin at the time, collectors today recognize it as part of a significant mid-20th century tradition in U.S. numismatics. The Denver Mint, responsible for producing the 1984 D nickel, struck tens of millions of these coins that year. However, sheer numbers do not equate to rarity when it comes to numismatics. Instead, rarity emerges from condition, striking quality, and survival rates, and this is where the 1984 D nickel stands out in a surprising way. During the 1980s, the U.S. Mint struggled with consistency and striking quality. Many Jefferson Nickels produced during this decade show weak strikes, particularly on Monticello's steps, which are notoriously difficult to bring out in sharp detail. The steps of Monticello have become the defining challenge of the Jefferson Nickel series, with collectors highly valuing coins that show all 6 steps fully visible without interruption. This is known as the full steps (FS) designation, and it dramatically increases a coin's desirability and value. For the 1984 D Jefferson Nickel, full steps examples are incredibly rare because most coins from that year and mint did not strike with enough sharpness to reveal these details. Add to this the fact that many coins entered circulation immediately, where they suffered from wear, contact marks, and loss of luster, and it becomes clear why high-grade, full steps 1984 D nickels are so scarce today. When such a coin does appear on the market, collectors are willing to pay a premium, with values climbing to as high as $2,900 for the finest known examples. The role of professional grading cannot be understated in determining the value of coins. Like the 1984 D nickel, organizations such as the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, evaluate coins based on strike quality, luster, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal, assigning them grades on a 70-point scale. For Jefferson Nickels, an additional designation for full steps is especially important as it marks the coin as one of the rare, sharply struck survivors. A regular mint state 1984 D nickel might only be worth a modest amount, but once a coin achieves a grade of MS66 or MS67 with full steps, it enters an entirely different category of rarity and value. This grading distinction is what transforms a common coin into one capable of fetching thousands at auction, with prices reaching up to $2,900 in today's market. The historical context of the coin also adds depth to its collectability. The mid-1980s was a time of rapid technological advancement, cultural change, and shifting economics in the United States. Coins minted during this period serve as small historical artifacts, linking collectors to the everyday life and commerce of that era. For younger collectors, coins like the 1984 D nickel may even carry nostalgic value, reminding them of the nickels they used as children. For older or more advanced collectors, it represents a challenge to obtain one of the hardest issues of the 1980s in top condition. Thus, the coin carries both historical resonance and collector appeal, further driving up demand and value. Another factor contributing to the high value of this coin is registry set collecting. a competitive practice, where collectors aim to assemble the finest possible sets of coins certified by grading services. Registry competition is particularly fierce for Jefferson Nickels, as enthusiasts strive to outdo one another by acquiring the highest graded examples. The 1984 D nickel, being difficult to find in full steps at high grades, becomes a key obstacle for those assembling top-tier registry sets. This demand translates directly into market value, as collectors are willing to pay extraordinary amounts to secure the coin needed to complete or improve their set. In this way, registry collecting elevates the importance and value of coins, like the 1984 D nickel, ensuring their status as prized treasures within the numismatic community. Beyond technical rarity, aesthetic factors also play a role in the coin's desirability. Some 1984 D nickels have developed natural toning over the years, with attractive hues of gold, blue, purple, or green appearing on their surfaces. Toned coins are unique. No two are exactly alike, and when paired with high grades and full steps detail, they can fetch even greater premiums. Eye appeal is a critical factor for collectors, and beautifully toned, well-struck 1984 D nickels represent the pinnacle of desirability for this issue. Investment potential is another reason the 1984 D Jefferson nickel has gained recognition in the numismatic world. While most modern nickels remain inexpensive and easily obtainable, the rare high-grade full steps examples from years like 1984 D stand apart as scarce investment pieces. Unlike bullion, which fluctuates with metal markets, these coins derive their value from numismatic factors such as rarity, demand, and grading population. This gives them resilience as long-term holdings. Investors and collectors alike see the 1984 D nickel as a coin with strong appreciation potential, especially as interest in Jefferson Nickels continues to grow. Although casual collectors may overlook the 1984 D nickel as a modern coin of little significance, advanced numismatists recognize the challenge it presents. Assembling a complete set of Jefferson Nickels with full steps is considered one of the most difficult and rewarding pursuits in U.S. coin collecting. The 1984 D issue stands as a major hurdle in this endeavor, with its scarcity and high grades making it both a challenge and a prize. This dual nature, as both a common coin in circulation and an incredibly rare collectible in top condition, gives the 1984 D Jefferson nickel its fascinating character and enduring value. In conclusion, the 1984 D mint mark Jefferson nickel proves that even modern coins can achieve remarkable worth when rarity, condition, and collector demand intersect. While most examples are worth only their face value, the rare survivors in pristine mint state with full steps can sell for up to $2,900, making this coin one of the standout issues of the 1980s. Its value is rooted not just in its metal content, but in its historical context, aesthetic appeal, grading rarity, and role in competitive registry collecting. For collectors, owning such a coin is both a triumph and a testament to the enduring legacy of the Jefferson Nickel series. The 1984 D nickel is more than a 5-cent coin. It is a hidden gem of modern numismatics, a symbol of rarity amid abundance, and a reminder that sometimes the most ordinary-seeming coins can hold extraordinary value when preserved in exceptional form. Next up, the 1957 No Mint Mark Jefferson Nickel is a remarkable mid-20th century coin that has captured the interest of collectors and investors due to its rarity and high grades, historical background, and the significant premiums it commands in today's numismatic market. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not use a mint mark on its coinage, this nickel may appear common at first glance because millions were produced that year, but its true value lies in the very small number of pristine survivors that exist in top condition. Most examples entered circulation immediately, where they were exposed to daily wear, contact marks, and the eventual fading of their original luster, leaving very few in mint state today. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 38 million Jefferson, Nickels in 1957, yet only a fraction have survived in grades that meet the high standards demanded by collectors. Those rare, sharply struck coins with full steps on Monticello, preserved in excellent condition and often certified by professional grading companies such as PCGS or NGC, can reach values as high as $2,100 at auction. This transformation from a face value of 5 cents to thousands of dollars is a testament to how condition rarity, collector demand, and historical context elevate certain Jefferson Nickels far above their ordinary counterparts. The Jefferson Nickel series began in 1938, replacing the Buffalo nickel after a 25-year run. Designed by Felix Schlag, the series featured a classical left-facing portrait of Thomas Jefferson on the obverse and a depiction of his Virginia home, Monticello, on the reverse. Schlag's design was chosen for its balance of elegance and simplicity, and it has remained one of the most enduring designs in U.S. coinage history. By 1957, the series had been circulating for nearly 2 decades, and while Jefferson Nickels were viewed as everyday pocket change, their design and history made them increasingly important to numismatists who recognize the challenge of finding high-quality examples. The 1957 no-mint mark issue is particularly notable because Philadelphia strikes often had weaker detail on Monticello's steps, a key area collectors focus on when determining strike sharpness. Coins with strong, fully visible steps are extremely rare, and these full steps designations are what set the most valuable examples apart. Strike quality is one of the most important factors influencing the value of the 1957 Jefferson nickel. The full steps designation given by PCGS and NGC indicates that all 6 steps leading up to Monticello are fully struck and visible without interruption. This detail is difficult to find on most Jefferson Nickels due to production limitations, die wear, and striking inconsistencies at the mint. For the 1957 no-mint mark nickel, full steps examples are exceptionally scarce, and when paired with high mint state grades like MS66 or MS67, they can command market values up to $2,100. Even without full steps, a high-grade 1957 nickel can still be valuable. But with the FS designation, its price can multiply many times over. This focus on strike sharpness makes collecting Jefferson Nickels both challenging and rewarding, and coins like the 1957 no-mint mark issue exemplify the difficulty of finding perfection in a series known for strike problems. Another factor that drives the value of this coin is its historical significance. The year 1957 was a period of major change in the United States, marked by the height of the Cold War, the space race beginning with the Soviet launch of Sputnik, and significant cultural and technological shifts. Coins minted during this era are small but meaningful artifacts that connect collectors to the events and spirit of the time. Holding a 1957 nickel in pristine condition is not only about owning a rare collectible, but also about preserving a tangible piece of mid-20th century American history. For many collectors, this connection adds emotional and historical depth to the coin, making it far more desirable than its face value would suggest. The 1957 no-mint mark nickel also highlights how rarity in numismatics is not always about mintage numbers. With over 38 million minted, it is not rare in terms of how many were originally produced. Instead, its rarity comes from the survival rate of high-quality examples. Most nickels from this era were not saved by the public or collectors as they were viewed as ordinary coins meant for circulation. Unlike earlier nickels or commemorative issues, the 1957 Philadelphia nickel did not immediately attract attention, and as a result, very few were set aside in rolls or collections in pristine condition. The vast majority were worn down in commerce, leaving only a small percentage that could achieve gem-level grades today. This condition rarity is what makes the coin so valuable and why collectors are willing to pay thousands for top-graded survivors. Grading plays a crucial role in establishing the coin's value. Professional grading services evaluate coins under strict conditions, assigning numerical grades from 1, poor, to 70, perfect mint state. For the 1957 no mint mark nickel, grades above MS65 are considered rare, and when coupled with full steps, they can fetch premium prices. An MS66 FS example can easily reach the $12,100 mark, while lower grades or coins without full steps are significantly less valuable. This shows how a single designation, based on strike quality, can multiply a coin's value many times over. Collectors who specialize in Jefferson Nickels pay very close attention to this detail, and competition for these scarce coins drives market prices upward. The market demand for the 1957 Jefferson Nickel has grown in recent decades thanks to registry. Set collecting, a popular pursuit among numismatists where collectors aim to build the finest possible sets of coins certified by PCGS or NGC. These registries rank collections based on quality, and collectors compete to have the top-ranked set in the world. In this competitive environment, coins like the 1957 no mint mark nickel with full steps are highly sought after because they can make the difference between first place and second place in registry rankings. As a result, collectors are willing to pay extraordinary prices for the best examples, fueling the coin's market value and ensuring its place as a key date in the Jefferson Nickel series for advanced set builders. Eye appeal is another critical factor in the desirability of this coin. While technical grade and full steps designation matter most, coins that exhibit attractive luster, minimal marks, and even natural toning are especially prized. Some 1957 nickels have developed beautiful color over the years, with hues of gold, blue, and purple adding visual appeal. Collectors are often drawn to such coins because they are unique, with no two-toned coins being exactly alike. This uniqueness can further enhance the value of a high-grade 1957 nickel, making it stand out in auctions and private sales. The investment potential of the 1957 no mint mark Jefferson Nickel is also worth noting. Rare coins with low populations. In top grades tend to hold or increase in value over time, especially when demand is strong. Unlike bullion coins, which rise and fall with the metal market, coins like the 1957 nickel derive their value from numismatic factors, making them more stable as long-term assets. With increasing interest in Jefferson Nickels, particularly those with full steps, the 1957 issue has become a strong candidate for both collectors and investors looking to acquire coins with growth potential. In conclusion, the 1957 no mint mark Jefferson Nickel is far more than an ordinary 5-cent coin from mid-century America. Its value comes from a combination of historical significance, rarity in high grades, strike quality, and strong collector demand. While circulated examples are common and worth little more than face value, pristine mint-state coins with full steps are exceedingly rare and can achieve values up to $2,100 in today's market. For collectors, owning such a coin is not only a matter of financial investment, but also a connection to history and a triumph in the challenging pursuit of building a complete, high-quality Jefferson Nickel set. The 1957 nickel represents the best of numismatics, the discovery of extraordinary value in the ordinary, the preservation of history in metal, and the thrill of uncovering hidden treasures in a series that continues to captivate collectors to this day.